Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Asia. Again, my name is Andrew. Bring you another new episode of What is Bitcoin. Okay, my personal interpretation what is Bitcoin is a store of value. Okay, besides Bitcoin, there's many things in the world that we can store our value in rather than storing it in the paper money which is printed by the central bank. So, what are the choices that we have? All right. Generally, there's three things which we can store our value at, which is gold, silver. These two have around 5,000 years of proven record, and Bitcoin recently invented, have a 10 years old age. Let's look at the price of these three store of value. First, we start with gold. All right. This chart indicate that gold, when it is 1973, all right, it only able to track back to 1973. At that time, each ounce of gold is cost around 65 US dollar. All right, if you look at the ounce, and it tops at around 2011, right? At that time, the price is at 1,782, and then it drops. Wow, this chart is pretty much like the Bitcoin bear market last 2 years. The difference is this entire movement took about 5 years, right? It depends on how you say it. You can say it is a pullback of price. You can also say it is a bear market, right? It took around 4 to 5 years to finish this circle, and it rise back since 2016. It topped at last year January at 1,300 USD, and now as of today is hovering also near to the 1,300 range for gold. All right, so if compared to Bitcoin, we can see gold volatility is really a lot lesser, and if you are focused more on stability, it is a good choice that you store your money in gold, okay, because it is pretty stable in terms of price volatility, and also it have more than 5,000 years of proven record. Silver, okay, look at silver now. From 1975, it is at the $4.2 per ounce price, and then whoa, it shoot up crazy. This is crazy. Within a year, it spiked from $6 to 33. Whoa, my gosh. 1978 at $5 spiked to, in 1 or 2 years, okay, spiked to 33. It means it have a, how many, 6 or 7x, 6 to 7 times of growth, violent growth. Okay, if compared to crypto, it is not as volatile. The growth is not significant, but if compared to gold or other assets, it's really grow a lot in this short period of time, 1 year to 2 years. Then it have a sharp pullback, right? So each of the graph is pretty same. You see, when it drop, it rise back a little bit, then it drops. If compared to Bitcoin, okay, 2017 it rise and then it drop. It have a sharp grow, rise back again and drop. The difference is how long does the cycle take, right? So if we see here, silver, when it reached top at $33 and it dropped, it spent about 2 years to finish the drop cycle, bottom at around $5 per ounce, and it consolidate, right? It rise up at $10 per ounce. People at here might think that they are back to a bull market, but too bad, it dropped back. Alright, it's a double bottom, and then it dropped again significantly. I think this phase is definitely the depression phase. When this drop, obviously everybody will be really angry because they expect a bull here, but it do the opposite. It drop and drop and drop. People here definitely will be really depressed. Then we see how long does it takes from 1986 to 1996, 10 years to almost 15 years bear market. My gosh, crazy. If you do your own research, you know that silver pretty much is manipulated. The price is manipulated by some of the financial people. They have to pull down the price of silver and even gold, so that people will store their money in the paper money, in the fiat currency. From there, they can execute their plan. What plan it is, this I will discuss in a separate channel sometime later, right? So and then it rise back, okay, and the entire bull market, wow, takes about another 10 years, okay, 10-year cycle. I guess here is when the financial system collapse. All right, is it the IT bubble? Not very sure, but around 2010 2011, there's a financial problem occur here. Throughout this year, yeah, it's the same. It's the same crisis as when Bitcoin is born, right? Bitcoin is been invented around 2008, where after the financial crisis, Satoshi created Bitcoin. And at the same time, silver rise, show its true value, and it soared violently from $10 to $40 per ounce. It's around 4x, more than a 4x gain. So 2008, 2011, 10, 11 is also 2 years time. It made a 4x gain. Alright, so if you store your value in silver, literally you are 4x gain here. But at this top again, alright, just like Bitcoin, okay, when it tops, the financial institution launched the future at this when Bitcoin reached 20,000. So when the future is launched, people can literally create their future contract to bet Bitcoin will go down. So it affects the entire market. So they successfully manipulate the market, create the future market, and make Bitcoin go down violently here. Same as silver, right? They suppress the price of silver, and so far they are really successful. And within the 4 years, silver get back to $13, which is now hovering at around $15. So it consolidate, right? Took about 4 to 5 years to consolidate between the $13 to $15 range. This is crazy. Nevertheless, if you see, look back the history, if you store your money, right, if you can live, if you are an old man now, you store your money since 1975 in gold or silver, let's say gold, so literally your value is growing actually, all right, from $65 to $1,300 today. So literally your money grow 13 times if you store money in gold. Let's take a look at silver. Okay, $4. So if you store money in $4 when you're 1975, fast track to now, 40 years later, now it's $15 per ounce. So literally your money grow more than 3 times. All right, the value of the money grow more than 3 times in silver, and more than how many times in gold? More than more than 13 times in gold. Wow. How about Bitcoin? Let's go to the Bitcoin chart. Okay, 2013 is $135. We need to go way back to the past. All right. You don't even have to go back to the exact date. Let's say just through Google search, let's say it is at less than a penny. It starts from 0.008. Okay, all right. So how many times does this grow from 0.008 to what we have now, which is at the 4,900 level? Okay, USD 0.0082 USD 4900. So how many times we have growth? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Means around 6,000x, 60,000x, 60 times. Anyway, it's way more than the silver and gold. All right. You can do the maths yourself. I just put it here. Gold about 13 times. All right. And silver about 3 times growth, if I count from the 1917. Right, you just look back to my video and do more research from there. Find out what's the starting price of gold and silver. Bitcoin is more than 60 times growth. Definitely more, or way more than that. Okay, do your math on this. So common sense, anything that is a good store of value, okay, literally we can store, we can put our value, we can store our value in anything, okay, but the difference is whether if you preserve our value, or our value will be decreased, like the national fiat currency in Venezuela, in Zimbabwe, in Iran, in Turkey, because of inflation, because of the money circulation not controlled well by the central bank and the government. You cause the value of the value that we have stored in anywhere to drop, right? Especially if your money is in fiat currency. So you can store your value in anywhere, just you need to see that which assets can provide you a better growth. All right, so you can judge it by yourself. Gold, silver, and Bitcoin. So just by facts, Bitcoin provide the highest growth in the shortest period of time. This is a fact. All right, I'm not saying that you should put your money in Bitcoin, but I just stated the fact, and this is the fact. And I would like to talk a little bit about why is that, right? What's the difference between precious metal, gold, silver, and Bitcoin? All right, the key difference is Gold and silver is physical. All right, physical. And Bitcoin is what? Virtual. Or okay, let's talk about virtual. So generally, our perception for value, it must be seen, it must be touched, it must be measurable. All right, so gold and silver, literally we can see it with our eyes, we can touch it with our bare hands. So it what makes its value. All right, so generally it's the same. People don't believe in anything until they see that thing. All right, because we are human being, we very much perceive value through our limited five senses. We need to perceive by our five senses. We need to touch it, we need to see it, we need to smell it, we need to taste it, and then that particular thing will become valuable for the general people, ordinary people. But is something that untouchable, which you cannot see, you cannot grab, that thing is not valuable at all. From our knowledge, it's not. For example, you can't see oxygen, you can't touch oxygen, but it is one of the most important thing in the earth, because without that, no matter how rich you are, you will die without oxygen. All right, so let's say God. Okay, God, is it important? Yes, it is the most important thing in the people who believe in God more than anything else. But can you see God? I mean, by your own eyes, by your own, can you touch God? No, you can't. But you know it exists. All right, people who believe do know it exists, and people do know belief in God is important. And this is one of the two example. All right, people generally, people don't think Bitcoin will go anywhere, or if you go to zero, because they can't see it, they can't touch it, they didn't study and understand where the value comes from, and they generally believe it won't it comes to this value is pretty much crazy. All right, so okay, so Bitcoin, key difference is it is virtual, you can't see it, it is just a series of numbers, right? This is an important key, numbers. So what is one of the unchainable thing that people discover in the universe? What it is numbers. All right, so 1 plus 1 is always 2, 2 plus 2 is always 4. This is the universal principle in numbers. This is unchanged. This is the fundamental of almost most of the things. And Bitcoin is a technology which related to numbers, all right, to program. I will explain further in the future videos. So this is one of the difference. Literally, your value or your private key is stored in this series of numbers and alphabets. Okay, a random combination of numbers and alphabet and symbols. And Bitcoin is digital, right? This is the third key difference with gold and silver. So because it is digital, you are able to bring Bitcoin to anywhere of the world without even anybody noticing it, because literally your wealth in Bitcoin, if it is 50,000, you can carry it as long as you can remember the series or number, or you record it down into a piece of paper and you don't lose it. You can bring it to anywhere of the world. This wealth will follow you. You do not need to get any permission to export it to anywhere of the world. It belongs to you. Okay, it's pretty much, this is the characteristic that I say it similar with gold and silver. Gold and silver, people who own gold and silver normally will suggest the beginners to hold their physical gold and silver in their house. Do not store in third party institution or safe deposit box. You have to store it in your own place, a bunker, a house, a studio, a safety own safety box or anywhere, but do not hand it over to the third party person to keep it for you, because what you are holding, when you are 100% holding it, it is considered your true assets. All right, anything parked to third party, it might looks like, if you have to prove that it is your assets, it might looks like it's yours, but because you park in third party places, it have a risk that it might not be yours someday. All right, so because Bitcoin is digital, you can also send your value which you store in Bitcoin anytime, anywhere you want, as long as you have electricity, you have internet. And gold and silver couldn't do that. All right, if you want to send certain value which you store in gold and silver, you couldn't. If tonight you want to send some urgent value money to someone in Canada, you could not send it. You cannot cut a piece of silver or gold and you send it tonight through post or somehow. All right, it might get stolen, and logically it would not be possible to send it on the same night, and it is not possible to send a large amount of silver, of gold physically to export it, to your friends or relative in overseas. You need to get some kind of application of permission to post it, because you are sending an asset, and you'll be worried because it passing by so many people's hand to handle it, the handling process. Don't you worry if you get lost. Okay, it will get stolen. It will miss out somewhere in the entire process of logistic. But because Bitcoin is digital, is peer to peer, you can literally send the value from your pocket to another person pocket. So interpret here is from your wallet direct to another person wallet. They will receive it within minutes or seconds. So this is the main three characteristic of Bitcoin compared to gold and silver. So if let's say if you are interested in both three, all right, of course I will really encourage you to if you are manageable, or you can afford all these three assets, I will encourage you to have all three of them. And I just explained to you the key difference here between these three assets, these three type of store of value. All right, so what my point is, anything can be a store of value. My personal perception, interpretation, you can store your value in anything, but if you choose to store your hard-earned value, of course you will choose something that it will grow, you know, your value will grow in these instruments. So I just give three examples: gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Which one you will choose is up to you. This video just provide some basic education, or it's more towards my own opinion. Okay, and I guess that's about it. All right, once again, what is Bitcoin means to me? Bitcoin is a store of value. Okay, once again, it's Andrew here from Crypto Asia. Thanks for listening. Over and out.